neighborhood, by the way, in case you don't know, is 3.5 hours west of here, and we'll be making a trip there again next Saturday, all in preparation of a...
It's 3.5 hours, by the way, Dean drives. It's 4.5 hours when I drive.
I won't argue with Linda. But we like to get there because we got things to do and we want to get back home again. So, but yes, we've ran into some great people out there. Karen Kiefer, she heads up a group similar to yours out there, certainly not as well as attended, and but she's been a great help to us, and she's actually heading up the canvassing efforts next Saturday. This Saturday, however, we are leaving, the train of pain, as we call it, is leaving the Bethel Fire Company at 7:30 Saturday morning. If any of you would like to join us, I know there's a couple people here. Carol Gardecki has volunteered to come out. I think Bob Moyer's coming with us, and I'm not sure who else, but we're gonna have, I'm looking at about 20 people. And in case you don't know what we do, folks, we go armed into senators' neighborhoods with these clipboards. And we pass out flyers and we knock on doors and we talk to people who are neighbors to these legislators, and we let them know what they're up to. We do knock on the legislator's door. I know some people aren't comfortable with that, but you know what? They don't answer. So then we gather up and we all take a picture on their front porch, and we plaster it all over the place. So they enjoy that as well. I know we do. But yeah, that's what we're up to, folks. And these canvassing events, these door-to-door events, this all leads to advertising. We're getting ready to run, what do you think, Ron? $4,000 or $5,000 worth of newspaper ads out in Greensburg, inviting people out to a town hall meeting, letting people know that their Senator Kim Ward betrayed us, and basically she lied to us. And in fact, a week before the bill was voted on, she peeled off. She had been a sponsor for over 3 years, campaigned on 76, and folks, that's what we do. We hold people accountable. We're not going to accept what they do when they run for cover for their special interests. You know, it's campaign season because they're looking for hundreds of thousands of dollars again to run for election. Well, we're going to expose that everywhere we find it. And right now we're fighting for 76. That doesn't mean we won't look elsewhere. But so today, this month, we're looking at Kim Ward's district, Senator Blake's district up around the Scranton area, and we're going to expose them for what they did. We're going to educate people on 76, because you know what? A lot of people outside Berks County still have not heard about this bill, and that may be the most important thing that we do. On top of that, once again, we lead up to newspaper advertisements, direct mailers, and this all leads up to a town hall event where we're looking for our Vice President, Ron Holtz, does a wonderful presentation in place of David Bollinger right now. And so we thank you for this opportunity to share, Eldon. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the Berks County Patriots for all the support you guys have given us over the last couple years. I'll just mention one more thing. We have flyers in the back printed up that includes 7 area businesses that have committed at least $50 a month to contribute to our campaign fighting these crony legislators. They're area businesses. Pick up a flyer on the way out if you haven't got one, but these are great businesses who are putting their money where the mouth is, and we thank them very much for it. And thank you, Berks County Patriots.
Thank you, Dave.
Todd, you have something to say? Short? And Sam said he's going to time you too. He watches the movie, the video, and he can tell how much time everybody takes.
Okay. I don't often get scolded before I start. It's usually when I'm done. Okay. Report's going to be a little different this month. It's not exactly a report, it's an action item. However, there's a couple of reasons why my report is short. One of them is the legislature this month, for all practical purposes, got nothing done, no budgets, of course. no pension reform, no paycheck protection. Any of the other items we have on our list haven't done anything. So if they can't get anything done, I don't have much to report on. But in addition to that, I must tell you, I was on the receiving end. A few comments, in jest, I guess, from my board about me and my lengthy Miller minutes. So, and it might have been with merit, of course, but one of them was that I've been redundant in some of the meetings, but it's with purpose. If some of you folks aren't here every month, you're not hearing redundant things, and you're hearing for the first time. And sometimes that's why I repeat myself for those that weren't there prior. And any other one as
You get old, you'll repeat yourself all the time. You're not old, are you?
here's one for you. As Linda said, no pension tonight. Well, okay. No pension, don't repeat myself. If I take those two off the table, I can cover this in a minute. So here's what we're going to do. I got 5 minutes to get this in, so I want you to help me get through this quickly. But our legislative committee has a limited amount of time and really can't attack everything. So we're going to prioritize things in whatever you folks think are the most important issues, because we got a plethora of them, and we like to narrow it down so we spend our time where it ought to be spent. So I'm going to hit the ones we're dealing with a slight statement about what it is. I'm not going to go into detail. But after I cover them all, I'm going to do it the second time, but this time I want to see a show of hands. When I hit the subject, I want you to raise your hand if you think it's important to you. Now what I'd like you to do is think about the 7 or 8 I have and keep 2 in your mind as most important. I want you to vote for at least 2, because I'm afraid if I said just vote for 1, if I get the last one as property tax, everybody's hands will go up and nothing will go up for the rest. So I'd like you to at least consider at least 2 items that we can move to the top of the list. Okay. First of all, starting at the top, Common Core is basically started in D.C. and is really a sequel of No Child Left Behind, but Common Core is in Pennsylvania, and we've been watching it, we've been dealing with it, so that'll be one issue. Smart meters, we've been watching smart meters, and of course smart meters is government's way of tracking you to see where you're spending your time and where your electric is being consumed, and it's got other issues, but basically that's the bottom line. Second Amendment issues, another thing we're tracking. In Second Amendment, as you can well aware that there's always some left-wing politician thinking there's one more issues in gun control that no one thought of, and they want to get it on the table as if, well, we would obey them, but if they think the bad guys will obey them, well, they're barking up the wrong tree. But I guess the bad guys hope they keep introducing these bills, because the more bills they introduce and pass, and we obey, the better it is for them, because they know we're more restricted than we were prior to that. Liquor store privatization. This bill's a mess. We're tracking it, but when this bill first came out, the conservative people in Harrisburg supported the bill. They screwed this bill up so bad, those that thought it was the right thing to do to privatize, they're not even supporting this bill. It needs to be straightened out, but we're tracking it. It's just one more item that we're keeping an eye on. Paycheck protection is another one. Now, paycheck protection, the question is, should school boards, boroughs, townships, even county government, should they have a treasurer paid by us to collect union dues through payroll deduction and track it? Some are just fair share people, or I call them captive passengers, whereby they only have to give each month their dues money to cover negotiations. But all this has to be tracked by your local governing bodies. And I contend it's not their business. It's the union's business to collect their own money. It's not my job. In fact, oftentimes that money that's being collected goes to political purposes, contrary, oftentimes, in the interest of the person paying the dues. So I want us to get out of that. I want a bill that says school boards can no longer negotiate a contract that says, I will help collect dues money. That's simple. Politicians' pensions. Can't talk about that. But I'll say this. Pennsylvania Constitution, Article 2, Section 8, just go read it. Clearly states right there, they're not entitled to their pensions, and every time they take $1 of their pension out of my pocket, they're violating their oath, they're violating the Constitution, and it's got to stop. If they don't solve that problem, it's $50 billion in the hole. If they don't solve that problem, particularly I'm talking to politicians, public employees got their pensions too, but if they don't change that from defined benefits to some kind of defined contribution, that $50 billion will keep climbing. And the governor doesn't want to change it. All his angle is we're just going to put some more tax money into the program in order that the pensions continue as they are now. And finally, property tax. I don't even have to go into property tax. Just a matter of should we change property tax to finance public education to another method, which is an increase in sales tax and income tax. And that's been going on. Fact is, my first resolution on that for another organization, I wrote in 2006. This is my 10th anniversary on property tax. I'm not really tired, I'm fed up with it. It's about time to get done, but I can tell you, we're just going to be the coattail or the piggyback on property tax because, as the Dean said, Dean and Ron and David Bollinger, the torch has been passed, it's up to them. So, having said that, hey, I was 4 minutes before I got here. Okay, we're going to have a quick vote now. I need some tellers up here to check hands. I'm going to go through them real quickly. I want to show of hands which ones are most important to you. You heard them all. So, starting at the starting with number 1, Common Core. How many think Common Core is important? Quick count. 15, I'd say 20 at the most. Smart meters. How many are concerned about smart meters? About 5 maybe? Okay. Second Amendment. There you go. One of these parts of the 10. Okay, we got them. We're going to say at least half. We'll calculate what half is. Liquor stores. Liquor store privatization. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8, I'd say. Paycheck protection. I'd say about 20. Politicians' pensions. Okay. That's right in there, time for high. And finally, property tax. And property tax is almost everybody. Like I said, we're going to coattail with Dean and these boys. So we won't put a lot of time, except to keep track and work with them. Okay. I've covered them all. I got the issues. We'll take these issues back to committee and figure out how we're going to handle them. I would say, though, You gonna introduce Paul? Okay. I just want to quote one thing. 2007. 2007. Whereas Pennsylvania legislature costs $23 per capita, is significantly higher compared to New York at $10.82 per capita, or California at $8.20. That's 10 years ago. We're talking about the size of the legislature. They haven't done a thing. I wrote that 10 years ago.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Okay, now we have Paul Brooker's going to give us a, I don't know.
Hello. Hey, everybody. I feel kind of lucky because, number one, they gave me the ability to bring up some good news to you finally. Number two, as a CPA and a tax person this time of year, based on current laws, I usually don't get to give that much good news. So this is a nice opportunity for me. A couple weeks ago, we had good news finally from our government, exactly what Rob was just talking about. They passed a bill to reduce the size of the House from 201 to 151, 203 to 151, or eliminate 52 representatives. Good news, finally. Just to give an idea, guys, the cost of that, they're estimating $4.5 million a year. That does not include the pensions, doesn't include their benefits, and most likely doesn't include their staff. We have our representatives have over 3,000 staff members on payroll in Pennsylvania, which is the highest in the country. So that's the good news. The bad news is you all have to stay on top of this. In order for this to be passed finally, it has to be a state amendment, which means it has to go through the House and Senate 2 consecutive terms. It's going through 1. It has to go through again next term. After that, it will be put on the ballot as an amendment, and we'd all get to vote on it. All right, but as Rod just said, this is something long overdue. It's good news, and maybe a step in the right direction, finally, to reduce the cost of our state government. All right? It's good to bring good news.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah. Okay, and now for our main event tonight is Christian Leinbach, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a bio I got. Christian Leinbach was elected in 2007 to serve his first 4-year term on Berks County Board of Commissions. Upon re-election in 2011, he was selected by his peers to serve as chairman of the board. Christian is a member of the election board, the prison board, the 4-H development board. He chairs the salary board, the retirement board, which manages a multi-million-dollar county employees pension fund. Additionally, Leinbach is a director on the Berks County Conservation Board and the Berks County Television Board. In 2015, Christian was re-elected to serve as Berks County Commissioner for his 3rd term. There's more, but I'm skipping some. Prior to becoming a commissioner, Leinbach was vice president of agency services of a local marketing firm. He and his wife Jennifer, along with their family, reside in a log home that they built themselves in Tilden Township, near the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains and the historic Appalachian Trail. They are active members of Schuylkill Valley Bible Chapel in Mooresville. Christian enjoys hiking, gardening, softball, volleyball, bluegrass music, biographies, and classic music. Movies, especially westerns. Spaghetti westerns, spaghetti westerns, Italian westerns they are. He credits his passionate desire to preserve freedom and the free enterprise system to a trip behind the Iron Curtain to visit relatives in 1979. Let's welcome Christian. Now, Christian, before you start your speech, wait, don't like that. I'd like to ask you if you would give us a little demonstration of the African dance steps that you learned in the multicultural event on Tuesday night. I can give you a little bongo beat.
I thought you were my
my friend.